This time tomorrow, we will be smack dab in the middle of the U.S. Open. Coming to us from Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania, as the golfers will get ready for their toughest test of the year. It's the 10th time the U.S. Open has been hosted at Oakmont Country Club, most recent back in 2016 when Dustin Johnson won with a score of 4 under. But this year, maybe it might be hard to go that low because you don't have to go back too far when you look at 2007 to find the highest winning score at the past 50 U.S. Opens. And you see where that 2007 U.S. Open was? At Oakmont. Angel Cabrera winning with a score of 5 over par. We might be in tune for another over par winner potentially this weekend with the U.S. Open. We will have to wait and see. But there's only one more sleep before we get to the U.S. Open. Now, there in Pennsylvania right now is our very own Patrick McDonald. And Patrick, I was looking at the weather for what's on tap for Oakmont, PA. Looks like it's good conditions today. Same thing for Thursday and Friday, but maybe rain on the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. What's the feel amongst the weather situation of how it might play out this week?
Monday, they received a ton of rain there as well, Zach, here at Oakmont. The golf course was pretty wet that day, wet going into Tuesday as well, but there's some wind on the property, sweeping through the property yesterday that really helped dry this place up. And I think that's an underrated aspect of Oakmont is with removing all these trees, when the wind does come through, it's able to drain this place pretty properly. And so hopefully we can avoid the weekend weather with the 50% chance of rain there on Saturday and Sunday. There was a chance yesterday that they were able to dodge, which helped the golf course out, because if this place plays firm and fast, these guys are going to be up against it. But if they have that extra moisture in the greens, remember in 2016, early week rains really softened this golf course. We saw guys get after it in the first and second rounds there. Also, Dustin Johnson could have easily shot 6 under par if it was not for a penalty in that final round also. And so if it does rain over the weekend, I think the winning score is obviously going to be a bit lower. But if it holds off, like you mentioned, this could be a winning score in the over par category.
So what do you think is more fun in your mind when you look at it? Do you like a winner when it's over par, and if it doesn't rain and we see the scores get higher and higher, or do you want it the other way around? Like, which way do you fall on this?
I fall in the way that Oakmont is set up. I think this place is just a perfect U.S. Open test where it's fair, Zach. And we've gotten U.S. Open tests in the past. You think about Shinnecock a few times, how it's gotten a bit unfair and the greens have just become absolutely ridiculous. And the U.S. Open these past 6 years, I want to say, you look at the winning scores, they have been 6 under or lower. That's the longest streak in U.S. Open history. Before that, the 14 years before, half of those were even par or higher. So I think there's also a sense of nostalgia almost with this U.S. Open at Oakmont, because we really haven't seen that really difficult test in quite some time. The even par winning score, par being a truly good score, guys piecing together bogeys and being like, okay, I'm not really losing too much ground on the field. But I think the great thing about Oakmont is it is fair. It's just really, really hard. And I do like that score being over par if it's possible.
So as you're there and you've walked the greens and you've seen the grounds, and we hear about the 5-inch rough and you see this, that, and the third, like in person, is it really that daunting of a course, just the way you look at the visuals?
I think, honestly, Zach, the rough videos take away from the rest of the course because, yeah, it is totally penalizing if you miss the fairway, right? There are some lies to be had, I'm not going to lie. If you go 6 feet off the fairway, you might get lucky. If you go 7 feet, you might be completely boned. It's kind of luck of the draw here this week at Oakmont, but everything else is just absolutely incredible. You think about the undulating greens. These greens are likened to Augusta National. Some of the slopes on them are laughable with the tight runoff areas, too. We saw guys putting it from 150 yards down the hill there on number 1. Also, the rough, of course, the deep bunkering also is a very underrated aspect of Oakmont. And you have to remember, this is going to be an evolving golf course throughout the week. Early week rains, it's going to dry out and then potentially add in more moisture over the weekend. But the most underrated aspect, I think, of Oakmont are the number of blind shots these guys are going to have. I walked the front 9 yesterday, and I counted 8 of them on 8 different holes. Number 1 going down the hill, number 3 going uphill onto the green, number 4 the par 5, a real scoring opportunity, a rare one out here at Oakmont. If guys are going to go for it, they're not going to know where their golf ball is going to land. And we had something similar a few years back at Los Angeles Country Club, and we heard the likes of Brooks Koepka and Victor Hovland be very uncomfortable with that aspect. So if there's something that you might not be able to see on screen or at home, it's the number of blind shots here at Oakmont.
I saw the video of the golfers putting from 150 out, and I was like, wow, that's kind of like what I do, because I can't chip to save my life, and I'm putting from about 30, 40 out. But it's not me who's going to be out there golfing. The golfers that will tee off tomorrow, you figure, sure, it's a huge field, but not everyone has a realistic chance to be able to win this U.S. Open. You're thinking and targeting about 9 golfers who have a shot to win. I want to give you the 4 first and just say, where do you start with this?
You got to start with Scotty Scheffler, right? The world number 1. It's not being brave. I'm not going out on a limb. He is by far the best player in the world, and he's by far the most well-rounded player in the world. You look at the 4 main strokes gained categories. Scheffler, for the first time in his career, ranks inside the top 25 of each of them. He's the only player in the world who can claim that. And you think about what is needed around Oakmont, it is avoiding the big number. Scheffler's number 1 in bogey avoidance. Dustin Johnson, when he won at 4 under in 2016, he only made 11 bogeys all week. He ranked just inside the top 30 in terms of birdies, so scoring's really not that crucial. And then you go down the list, right? You have live golfers like Bryson DeChambeau, Jon Rahm, really the prototypical U.S. Open players. Rory McIlroy has a question mark around his name with the driver. Followed him for a little bit. It did not look great so far. Wednesday morning, after his 9-hole practice round with Shane Lowry, he went immediately to the driving range. Xander Schauffele kind of falls in the same boat, but if you're looking for maybe some value or a long shot down the board, I think Corey Connors can play that Shane Lowry role from 2016. He's inside the top 5 in terms of total strokes gained over these last 5 years. He kind of figured out the U.S. Open with a top 10 finish there at Pinehurst number 2 last week. But my favorite pick of the week, I've been harping on it, I've been singing his praises, it's the U.S. Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley at 80-1. Granted, I'm a bit of an agent of chaos. I want this guy to play himself onto his own team, but he's hitting the ball so well. And an underrated aspect of Keegan Bradley's game, it's not the ball striking right now, it is the short game that has really come through. He's comfortable in this part of the country, the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, and he's going to thrive on a difficult golf course that is Oakmont.
Patrick McDonald, we are very excited for this. I'm jealous of you being able to be there in person and seeing all that great golf that will start off tomorrow, but thank you so much. I know this is not the last time that we will hear from you before a champion is crowned. Hopefully Sunday, hopefully the weather will allow all of that, but stay safe and enjoy all the golf. Patrick McDonald. And of course, that weather that we mentioned, you see those rain clouds, that thunderstorm, that lightning on Saturday, an 88% chance of precipitation according to AccuWeather, but it should be clean and dry Thursday. Maybe Friday could get a little bit dicey, but Saturday is a day that we certainly have circled and are curious about as we get ready for starting off the 2025 U.S. Open from Oakmont.